Welcome to the Mukilteo Football Show. My name is Miles. The Los Angeles Rams are our final team. 32 of 32. On the countdown to 2022 NFL kickoff, we did 32 teams, 32 days. And I'm releasing this later on Wednesday, just to give it a little bit more time. But officially, this is the Thursday morning, September 8th release. But I know I'm releasing it on the same day as the Bengals. Just wanted to give it some time before it, goes out of date pretty quickly. Basically, kickoff on Thursday when the Rams take on the Bills in a cool opener that I can't wait to talk about. We'll be here right after the game. We're just going to do little shows, Mukilteo Football Show after Thursday Night Football, Sunday after Sunday Night Football, Monday after Monday Night Football. Follow us on Twitter at MUK_football. Man, it has been a ride previewing every team. One a day. I will admit this was a little bit of a timing mistake on my part. Next year, I'm going to do this much earlier because, no one really cares at this point. I know that. It's like we've been talking about the Rams all offseason. Nobody needs a final offseason day review of what to think of the Rams. This series might be better suited for like June. And I'll keep that in mind. But I was doing a Stranger Things podcast with my wife. Check it out, Stranger Still 22, and Twitter. Let's talk Rams. Sean McVay is returning. Aaron Donald is returning after considering retirements. And I say this laced with as much sarcasm as you can muster in your imagination. It is just so fortunate for both of these guys having these very public retirement considerations that actually ended up being leverage for them to get new contracts that they needed to sign. What a lucky and unrelated happenstance for both of them that their retirement consideration just happened to coincide with their new contract conversations. That's just so good for those guys. Sarcasm over. Now that there's been some time away from the Super Bowl, the Rams with just a great victory, great Super Bowl. I was rooting for them. It was fun to watch. I know they're in the NFC West and I'm a Seahawks fan, but I was rooting for Matt Stafford. And now that we've taken some time away, I think we can properly address the question, is Matt Stafford a Hall of Famer? Because people were definitely saying, the moment carried some people to say, yes, Stafford in the Hall of Fame. It was kind of reminded me of Julian Edelman when after Super Bowl 53, when it got to the post-game crew of former players and former coaches, and they unanimously went around the post-game and said, yes, Julian Edelman is a Hall of Famer. Just no context at all. They're just completely swept up in the moment. He's not, by the way. Edelman is not a Hall of Famer. And I don't think Matt Stafford is either. I think Stafford's way above Edelman. He's very close. A couple more good years or another big Super Bowl run here, even if it's not a Super Bowl championship, I think Stafford's going to get in. But he's still in the Hall of Very Good. I think as we zoom out and as we get further away from it, this Super Bowl for Stafford, for the Rams, but I'm mostly speaking about Stafford, will make more sense. Because if you look at 21st century, football and the quarterbacks that were drafted, Stafford is that guy in the middle. That guy in the middle who's from 2006 to 2010, Stafford's the only good quarterback drafted in that 5 years. just Stafford in that 5-year period. And as Breeze and Brady and Big Ben and Rodgers, started to tail off, and as Mahomes and Herbert and Burrow and Josh Allen are just kind of getting going, this is the moment. This is where Stafford strikes. It makes sense that he struck at this time for a ring. But I am worried about him going forward here. His body has taken a beating in Detroit for a decade, and he barely made it through last season. I don't think that he's got much longer at a high level. That's just my opinion. And they're already, there's undisclosed elbow stuff going on. All teams, Sean McVay is a liar. They're all liars. Why do they have to be liars? I just don't get it. No limitations, no problems, 100%, but also something else. I know I just said 100%, but the next thing I say, it's a little sore. What is 100%? I think the fact that this has lingered throughout the entire offseason, even up to week 1, worries me about Matt Stafford and this 18 week season that's about to come up. But let's keep rolling through. Cooper Kupp. Before the Super Bowl, I said Cooper Kupp has a chance to unseat 1988 Jerry Rice and 2008 Larry Fitzgerald as the greatest wide receiver season when you combine regular season and playoffs in history. And of course, Cooper Kupp delivered with an amazing Super Bowl, including the Super Bowl winning touchdown. And he won the Triple Crown. He had a fantastic playoffs. He had this game-winning Super Bowl touchdown. I think it's true that Cooper Kupp had the best wide receiver season ever in NFL history. It's pretty incredible to think about. Now, I do think that it's not a fair thing. Like, it doesn't mean that Cooper Kupp is the best receiver in history. First of all, many of the great wide receiver seasons don't even get any playoff games. So they're ruled out for external factors beyond their control usually. And then, it's more impressive to string seasons together. It's more impressive to string a decade together like Jerry Rice or Randy Moss or Julio Jones or Terrell Owens. So Cooper Kupp 2021, fantastic. The best season in NFL history for a wide receiver consecutively. It'd be really cool to see him do it again. I don't know, but it'd be cool. Allen Robinson joined the Rams. That's fun. It's like the 5th year in a row we're saying Allen Robinson's got a better quarterback. Because, to be fair, he started pretty low with Bortles, then Foles, and Trubisky, then Fields, now Stafford. So we're getting there. Stafford, Kupp. Let's talk about Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is still elite, going after he's already got a Hall of Fame resume, but he's got potential. If he puts another couple of good first-team All-Pro seasons together, I mean, he's ascending past Lawrence Taylor, Ronnie Lott, Reggie White territory. He's already there. Can he ascend past it? With first-team All-Pros, I take that very seriously in the Hall of Fame considerations. It's kind of all we can, individual accolades for defense. So it'll be exciting to see if he can keep himself elite. He loses an all-decade teammate, his Von Miller, his teammate from the all-decade 2010s team, only to be joined by a different member of the all-decade 2010s team in Bobby Wagner. As a Seahawks fan, it hurts my soul to think of Bobby Wagner in a Rams jersey. I will be wearing my Wagner jersey just in protest. I bought that in 2015. I'm just going to keep wearing it, even though he's not on the team anymore. What am I going to do? Buy I was going to say Herschel, a Kenneth Walker jersey? No. Oh, B-Wags. I'll be rooting for the Rams, at least for Wagner's sake, since the Seahawks don't really have a chance this year. The Rams, the big story is depth, right? It's the same issue that this year as it was last year, that if they sustain too many, any injuries really to their big stars, Stafford, Donald, Kupp, Jalen Ramsey, talk about Bobby Wagner, talk about Allen Robinson, like all of these guys are some of the best players in the league. And they're top heavy, right? Though not like crazy top heavy. Sometimes I feel like it gets overblown. Did the Rams sell everything to get those 6 or 7 players? No. They sold their first rounders, not their drafts. They've been drafting tons of guys who were just filling holes. 30 to 35 guys on a roster are playing every Sunday. And the Rams deserve more credit than just having sold out for 6 or 7 players. They drafted a lot of players last few years, just nobody in the first round. It's something that just keeps getting missed. But yeah, okay, it's time to pick the line. ready for some football? 32 teams in 32 days. I did it. I did 32 teams in 32 days. All right. The Rams, 10.5. 10.5 is the line for 2022 wins. I will take the over. I just think there's, the NFC West is a little weaker. The NFC in general is a little weaker. And the Rams still have, the good football team that won the Super Bowl. So, but let's talk about the question we really want to ask, right? The real question: will the Rams defend their title? Nobody has defended their title since the 2004 Patriots. And the Rams were the ones to knock out the title defense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year. So they knocked them out of the playoffs. Can the Rams do it? Can they become the first back-to-back champion since the 03-04 Patriots? It's really hard to do nowadays. Really hard to do. Parity is king. I mean, it used to be fairly common, right? 16 of the first 39 Super Bowls were back-to-back champions. Packers 66-67, Dolphins 72-73, Steelers did it twice, 74-75, 78-79, 49ers 88-89, Cowboys 92-93, Broncos 97-98, Patriots 03-04. So almost half of the first 40 Super Bowls were part of a back-to-back championship. Now it's been 18 years without it. 2020 Chiefs got there, they lost. 2014 Seahawks got there, they lost. So the question is, will the Rams do it? Will they break that streak? And I'm going to say no. The Stafford elbow, just the natural variance of injuries. I didn't even mention the offensive line downgrades. The low-key coaching blunders by McVay that he made in the playoffs that he got away with, I think one of those is going to blow up in his face in this next playoffs. And the AFC quarterback crew of Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Herbert, they're starting to really come into their own. That was the right time for Stafford to win a Super Bowl. He did it. So I'll say the Rams will not repeat. All right, follow us on Twitter at MUK_football. We will see you after the Rams-Bills game to talk that game and preview Week 1. Football, we're ready.